Hello Dave is ad-free thanks to all you guys supporting the channel on Patreon. All income from donations and Patreon are used directly to upgrade cameras, light, microphones, software, things that allow me to produce more and better looking videos for you guys. All Patreons also get a discount at the merch store, and you have the option to get your name listed at the end of every video. So become a Patreon by following the link in the video description. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hello Dave with Down with Astronomy. It's Monday, and that means it's time to have a look at what's been going on in Elite and on the channel. First of all, I want to clarify some stuff that I talked about last week regarding GalNet, the interstellar initiatives, and the community goals. There's been a lot of information out, and then some of it turns out not to be true, and then some of it was true, but it's been a bit of a mess. So what I wanted to do was to just go back and let's just quickly give you an overview of like how this thing is evolved, where we are right now, and where we can expect this to move in the near future. So originally, of course, GalNet was mainly a place where Frontier would post lore-related stories. So it was not really necessarily stories that had anything to do with what was going on in the game. It was only lore stories. It had nothing like, it wasn't necessarily stories that you could go and then actually interact with. It was just some fluff, some funny stories that the Frontier posted as to make the galaxy seem more alive. Back then, of course, we also had weekly community goals where every week there would be a new community goal that would change the topic from being trade, combat, exploration. It switched around every week. Then they did the first overhaul of this whole system. GalNet got reduced from being a lore news platform to being more of a actual quote-unquote news platform where they would only post articles and news about stuff that had actual impact on the game that people were playing. That means if it were a news there, it had something related to something that was going on in the game. That could be stations being attacked by Thargoids or similar events, like actual things that were happening in the game that changed something in the game. That was where they swapped it over. And for a while, I think they did both, but they decided to shut down the lore stories and only have the game-related story. They also changed over from, instead of running these weekly community goals, they were running these more longer events now called interstellar initiatives. And then we had last week where it seemed like everything was just going away. GalNet gone, community goals gone, interstellar initiative, everything is gone. Now, it seems that was not entirely true. It turns out the way that it's going to be is GalNet is pretty much going to be unchanged as it were before this whole thing started, meaning we are going to get the news about in-game events and things that directly relate to the game, things that actually change the game. So again, could be part of the Thargoid thing. If something suddenly happened with some other major event that has an effect in the game, it will be put in GalNet. New ships, new equipment, that kind of stuff, right? Lore stories will not be coming back. The community goals, as we understand them, and the interstellar initiatives, kind of the same, like in the in-game events. The reason they said that it was not going to come back is because they technically are, but it's going to be slightly different too. It's not going to be these large interstellar initiatives where you're going to see multi-phases over many weeks. But it's not going to be these small, tiny events that you see every week running like clockwork either. It's going to be something in between. It seems, the way I understand at least, it's going to be like Frontier says, whenever they feel like there is a reason to do an event, they're not going to like commit to a schedule or anything, but whenever they feel like there's a reason to do an event in game, then they will do them. So there will be like special events that will happen in game from time to time. Clearly, it must have taken a lot of resources both to write all these lore stories and keep up with all these community goals. And it seems like they're taking those resources out to do other things. But I hope this clarified exactly what's going on with all these community-related things. And I'm pretty sure that there are some of you who will be disappointed. There are probably some of you who will say that's fine. That's up to you, of course. But now I hope you have a little bit clearer understanding of what's going on with this. There was also a post over on the official forums by Frontier. I'll post a link to it in the description if you want to go and have a look at it yourself, where they asked for players to send screenshots of their Holo-me characters. So, you can make this hologram thing, basically like make your character what it looks like and stuff like that. They've asked to send screenshots of those, and they're going to use it for something. They were a little secretive about it, as they often are. Didn't want to say what it was. They did say it was some kind of video they were doing. They wouldn't really tell us exactly what it was or when it would be. They just put up very strict like guidelines for how you should send this and where you should send it and how the screenshots should look and all that stuff. So if you want to participate in this mysterious event that we don't know what's going to be used for, I mean, maybe your character will show up in a video on the official Frontier channel at some point, well, link in the description, read it thoroughly, because it is very, very specific about how you're going to send it. Like, send it to this specific email and the topic must look exactly like it's. Read it. I'm not going to sit here and try to, because I'm probably going to get it wrong and then somebody's going to be mad at me for saying it wrong. Go read it on the forum post if you want to have a chance that your character will show up in a Frontier video at some point. There's another thing I just quickly want to comment on. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but Frontiers recently acquired a license to do a Formula 1 management game. It's not something I'll be covering extensively here on the channel. It's not going to become a racing channel all of a sudden, but I know there's a lot of people who enjoy this sim kind of thing, who may also enjoy sim racing, who may then also enjoy like a Formula 1 style management game. I don't know. I thought I would mention it, so there it is. Then I have some bit unfortunate news. Over the last couple of weeks, from time to time, I mentioned the whole, take over my channel while I'm gone in the month of April kind of thing. And there's been some people who have been expressing interest in it, and those I've been talking to, that is definitely still on. However, with all the things going on in the world right now and airports shutting down, that kind of thing, unfortunately, that means that the honeymoon that we're planning here after the wedding is off the table at the moment. So we're not going to be going out. It is going to be cancelled because there's simply just, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs has recommended that people stay in the country, and that's going to last until after we were supposed to leave. So that means we're going to be staying home. That being said, there might be some weeks where I will be gone, because we will then be taking small trips within the country and do stuff here instead. It's not going to be the vacation we were hoping for, but we'll figure something out. The guys of you who I've already talked to and who have already expressed interest in it, it's definitely still on. And if you still want to do your videos or whatever you're planning, you're more than welcome to. That is still running a schedule. We'll find a time slot for you, but it does mean that I'll probably be here more than I've originally had planned in the month of April. But as I said, we are going to be taking small trips here and there, so there might be a week here or a week there during April where live streams will be moved around or videos might not be as frequent as possible. So it's still going to be a bit of a weird month, but I just want to let you know what's going on with all this, because there's been a lot of people who've been asking me on Discord, and again, thanks to all you guys who've been concerned about it and been asking me about it. I just wanted to express it here as well. And then finally, I want to talk about live streams, of course. I had a little bonus live stream last week on Saturday where I tested out the new live streaming setup. I got a new gaming rig, meaning that the old rig is now being converted into a streaming rig that's now it's currently sitting here doing all the captures for Holo-me, and that's going to work double duty, both as streaming rig, so I'm streaming from that, but also as a render machine. So when I've done editing, I'll offload all the rendering to the secondary PC, while the main PC can then, well, I can play games on that or work on the next video, or, well, and not have it locked down for an hour and a half when it's rendering or something like Holo-me, where I'm doing full screen chroma keying. But as I said, last Sunday I had this live stream, I was testing it all out, and it worked great, like for a live stream, no problems at all. Well, apart from the fact that there was some sound issues, I couldn't hear notifications from the stream, so when people were subscribing or following or stuff like that, I couldn't hear the notifications, meaning it was hard for me to do shoutouts. Same with donations and Patreon stuff. When that came up, I couldn't hear it. That should have been resolved now. I've done some moving cables around, and I think it's working now. It seems so. At least I've done some testing here today, so Sunday when I'm recording this, meaning that should be working for the live stream tomorrow. So that will be the first test of the new audio setup. So I hope that's going to work and come out great. Plan for the stream is to continue the work that we did Saturday, where we began collecting materials for the mining Python build. I promised you a mining Python build. I have made the build, and I'm currently in the process of actually building it so we can do some testing and get that thing out, so we can get you guys a build guide. A lot of you guys have expressed interest in something like that. But that's going to be it for this week. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.